How's it going? We are live now answering top questions. It's Monday, it's a new week. We're way past Easter now. We are past spring break. Some of you might have Passover to look forward to, Mother's Day to look forward to, whatever it is. What questions do you have as it pertains to weight loss, nutrition, health, motivation, mindset? Give me your best shot. I had such a good call today with the Chibi Mindset group with private clients. And, it's definitely a world where people are asking about the GLPs, the GLP-1 meds. Like have, I'd say, mm, 10, 15% of my clients are on them, tried them. You know, it's like something that is kind of in the world and probably here to stay. So I'm happy to answer about that. Any questions you might have. In addition to everything else. So first off, now the questions are rolling in. Tempest Arit says that she's lost 20 pounds since starting the super block on January 1st. I just want to say that it's really remarkable how much success people have had with the 2B Mindset super block since January 1st. So congratulations, Arit, Tempest, and we're so proud of you. All right, Brittany's asking questions. Any tips for being so hungry while breastfeeding? While this question doesn't pertain to lots of you, the ones who it does pertain to, I will just tell you, some people say, eat more carbs while breastfeeding. In my experience, breastfeeding 3 kids for about 4 years, I will tell you, liquid in, liquid out. The more water you drink, the more milk I've always gotten. Okay, here's a great question. This is coming from Tiffy. The question is saying, help, I'm an emotional eater. How do I stop? So obviously, I have tips about emotional eating within my 2B Mindset Super Block, my book, You Can Drop It, but I'm going to keep it really fresh right now and give you my best tips for conquering emotional eating as it pertains to, spring 2024. Okay, first off, you have to remind yourself that you need emotional healing, not emotional eating. If you keep telling yourself, I'm an emotional eater, I can't stop, you're not really finding the solution. And we have to bridge where you are now with a solution oriented person who is at peace with their relationship with food and with the emotional problems at bay. So you have to start by recognizing I need emotional healing, not emotional eating. And I know for me, that is key. The second I admit to myself, I need emotional healing and not emotional eating, I start to become resolution oriented, solution oriented. Like, where am I going to get that healing from? Is it a conversation that needs to be had? Is it a friend I need to speak to? Is it, a yoga practice I have to get into? Like, what is it? Journaling? Is it therapy? Like, where am I going to get this healing from? And sometimes it comes from a source of creativity, like a DIY project, theater. My friend is like a new person. She looks like she lost 10 years. She looks so young and healthy and light and refreshed because she got back into musical theater and she hasn't stepped on stage since high school. And she just has a glow to her now that she joined a local group. So I think, when it comes to being an emotional eater, you have to get to the root of the problem and become more, solution oriented while getting everything out of sight, out of mind. I think that's really, really, really critical is that so many people say they're an emotional eater. And then you go into their house and they have cereal boxes and frosting pints and like all cookies and granola and all these things like just right there out in the open. And when you're at a point of vulnerability, you want to set yourself up for success, not for staying in the same, negative cycle of habit. So that's really important. Okay, next question comes from um, Camille, and she's saying she's 15 years old. She started my calorie deficit at 13, was about 1,000 to 1,200 calories. 7 months ago, I stopped, and now I struggle with binge eating. What should I do? I really, really, really recommend that you should never, ever, in my opinion, focus on calorie counting for more than a year. Like if someone is starting and they have no idea any concept of nutrition, I don't recommend, calorie counting at all. But like if you want to give it a year, like I know that I did it for a year when I was younger. And I think it was useful in understanding, like, wow, you know, it really does pay off to put some Greek yogurt in place of all mayo in something like a tuna, or it makes sense to go for a lighter version of a salad dressing, or maybe I don't need to eat, you know, one and a half avocados in one sitting as my guacamole for a chip. Like maybe I should think about that. So I do think that there are benefits to understanding the value of a calorie, so to speak. But beyond a year, I find it becomes frantic. It starts to become at this point where you just can't, you keep kind of cutting. It doesn't until it feels like there's no food left. And also you're not gaining any insights into what your body really needs and what it responds to best and so forth. And it really creates this negative mindset, I find long term, that is very counterproductive. So that's where I would recommend people start to transition to the 2B mindset program. Because the 2B mindset program, you're actually going to understand what foods, the timing of foods, like how what you're responding best to for health, wellness, overall satisfaction, and best overall results. So I would say that. And definitely always check with your doctor before, experimenting with weight loss, especially if you're young. Okay. The next question comes from Swellhead Spur, and it says, I love your content. Is there anything wrong with taking a fiber powder like inulin? For most people, there's nothing wrong with taking a fiber powder like that. If someone has Crohn's, colitis, IBS, they want to be careful with it. But if you've been taking it for a little bit, you probably don't have any sort of negative side effects. And sometimes taking a fiber powder or supplement could actually help with blood sugar control, staying fuller longer, and regularity. So I think if you're not taking enough fiber in from your food, there's nothing wrong with taking a fiber supplement as long as it's cleared by your doctor and you have no other, digestive disorders. I'm going to give a quick update that I have a retreat coming up. So write the word shift below if you want details on that, because it's in June in Florida and it's going to be amazing. Okay, next question. EB Miller says, any suggestions for someone in the family who is diagnosed as pre-diabetic? Yes, I have major suggestions for you. The term pre-diabetic is such a positive, you know, new modern diagnosis doctors are giving to patients. There really weren't a lot of things like this, to my knowledge, like 50, 70 years ago, where doctors would basically be telling you, hey, you're on the path to something bad and something, potentially irreversible, and something that is considered a chronic disease like type 2 diabetes, but you're only on the path right now. You're not there. And actually, if you reverse your path with some healthier habits and behaviors, you might actually never have to deal with that chronic disease. And that's really a wonderful place to be in. And I'm so grateful that we now are testing people and assigning them to this diagnosis of prediabetes, which it's been approximated almost like every other person in the United States may have. And it basically is just saying that you are on a path that could likely lead to type 2 diabetes. But if you start losing weight in a healthy way, drinking more water, eating more vegetables, having more lean proteins, having a more positive mindset with your relationship with food, you can very, very, very likely reverse this path and get into a healthy place and never have to deal with type 2 diabetes ever. So if someone is getting diagnosed with prediabetes, I would highly recommend that they speak to their doctor. They get approved to do the 2B mindset program and see how that works for them. We've had a lot of people having incredible success who've done the 2B mindset and have been in this place. And it really resulted into like the best outcome for them possible. So I highly recommend giving that a shot. Okay, next question. Um, I lost 50 pounds with the 2B mindset in the past, but I gained it back over 2 years. I don't know how to lose weight without making it the thing that's always